Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Driver's Den. My name is Jason, and today you're joining me from the cabin of my 1996 Honda Civic EJ9. Now don't get me wrong, the car's nothing special, but I love it to bits. It's been great for me, it's never let me down, but like all cars, it's not perfect. First up, and this one's not necessarily specific to my example, but it's more the model itself. From the factory it was cursed with a 4-speed automatic, and it's probably the biggest downfall of this car, to be honest. If it were a manual, the power wouldn't be a problem because you can just rev out the gears and you've got much more control over the actual power band itself. In this, sure, motorways, cruising around town, it does its job, it changes gears, you've got 4 gears to run through and it'll do them at about the pace of a sloth. If you get onto a B road or you actually want to have a little bit of fun on a twisty, things get a little bit more complicated. You actually have to kick the absolute shit out of the car to do the speed limit, essentially. And it doesn't like staying there. It wants to drop off and it wants to do about 40, a nice gentle stroll all the way along. That's no fun. For example, I've just turned onto my favourite section of a B road. I'm doing 25 miles an hour and I'm going to boot it. Ready? There we go. My foot's on the floor. It's level with the carpet. Oh yeah, top speed run, here we come. $60. Fuck, there's a corner. Why would you pull out there, you Now, the next problem on my list is a really daft problem to have. It's so tiny, but it's incredibly inconvenient. And it's this. Spot the problem yet? My boot doesn't close, and there's reasons why it doesn't close. Most importantly, another car decided to give it a little kiss on the arse once, and it's obviously knocked something out of alignment. I fettled with it for about 5 minutes before I gave up, and by that I mean I beat the devil out of it with a hammer, and then went, ugh, it doesn't work. But I got it really close to working. Now, if you slam it conventionally, you know, you can slam it with all your strength and it will not close. Trust me, I've tried it. The trick is to put your thumb somewhere near the S on my reg plate and it closes. So there we go. As far as I see it, that's fixed. Now, another novel feature on my Civic is that it's got part-time lighting, and by that I mean it just sort of decides when it wants to work. Mainly the side light. Some days I'll turn on the lights and it'll be, yeah, I'm working, totally fine. Other days I'll have absolutely nothing. Other days it'll flicker and then the old, we'll fix it. But there's only so many times you can do that before A, it stops working, or B, you put your fist through a lens. Ask me how I know. Now, if you'll have seen my previous video on this magnificent beast, you'll know it's been dropped on eBay's finest coilovers. A common side effect of lowering your car is it obviously messes with the geometry and the alignment. Ordinarily, you'd just take it to a shop and get it aligned just to suit the new ride height. With older cars, and I'm sure many of you'll know this, things get rusty and things seize. Mainly track rod ends, which is why this still needs an alignment. But because I'm an idiot, and instead of just paying, what, £20 either side to get new ones, I've used boy logic and I just replaced my tyres instead. So instead of doing 40 quid to fix my alignment, I just buy a new set of tyres every 6 months, because I'm smart. Now, you might be fooled into thinking that the Honda Civic is an economy car, devoid of luxurious features and fancy add-ons. Mine, on the other hand, comes with its very own water feature. So in the bottom of my spare wheel well, underneath the wheel itself, there's a pond about that deep. I first noticed it when I was going around corners and I'd hear a sloshing noise. Now, cars make many noises, particularly old ones, but sloshing is not one of them. So I ripped everything out, had a look underneath, and I nearly threw up from the amount of mold that was present on everything. And yeah, I found my new little swamp. A quick search on the forums reveals that it's typically the rear light gaskets that go. So when the gaskets get old and dry up, they don't seal properly, water runs down the channels, pisses into your boot floor. Logical. So I ordered some new gaskets, replaced them, and for about a month, totally fine. And then one day, I was going around a corner and I heard that sloshing noise again. My pond's back. So at this point, I think it's just part of the car, because the next solutions I've got are just to drill some holes in it or replace my boot floor with chicken wire or a colander. Now this section could just be summarised under the condition, because I've got battered bumpers front and rear, the back one looks like it's got leprosy, My floor's a little bit on the soft side of things. My sills, they're structurally sound, providing you don't touch them. There's dents, there's scratches, there's scrapes, there's mismatched colours, and then there's my rear arches. So let's have a look at those. Oh, I'm really hoping that this dead cat works on the microphone because it is windy as balls out here. But rear arches, now they look good at the moment, but these have been the absolute bane of my existence. They were quite decent when I bought the car, and then I decided that because it's my daily driver, I'd take it everywhere I went in North Yorkshire in the snow, the salt and the ice, and I had a little bit of fun skidding it around. Funnily enough, months after that one, I had a little poke around and my arm went through the arch about here. I then did a DIY approach, and truthfully I thought it was alright. I just chucked a load of filler on it, painted it, rattle canned it on the driveway, and it wasn't terrible. But that started bubbling through and I knew that I needed to get them sorted properly. So I went to a local chap, and I really can't fault him because he's an awesome dude, and for what I paid for it, I'm honestly very happy. It's starting to creep through a little bit again, particularly on the lip in here, so I know at some point it's just going to go and do the exact same thing. There's also the issue of colour, so if you look at this from the side, because I'm assuming it's quite a difficult colour to match, and obviously it's faded and mismatched and panels have been resprayed over the years, the back looks considerably darker than the front. So if you look at it side on, particularly in a photograph, I'll probably pop one on the screen right now, you can see the difference. It bothers me sometimes, but again, for what I paid for it, oh well, it's not a show car, it's the daily donkey. And then, there's this. I can't stand this badge, I absolutely hate it. In fact, I think I'd rather have double the water in my boot than this disgusting, horrible red badge. The previous owner, or possibly one of the previous ones, not the one before me, but a couple down the line, I think they might have been under the impression that this was a Type R of some kind, because when I bought it, it had a red badge on the front, a red badge on the rear, it had some red vinyl tape in the front grille, and it also had a Honda, the Power of Dreams sunstrip on it. Yep, disgusting. But those have gone, and this is the only thing that remains. And the only reason I've not taken off is because I think I'm either too lazy or too tight to get a replacement badge for it. But I've been saving it amongst many other things for the next Civic video, where I'm gonna fix a few of the little problems, tidy it up a little bit, and then get it back to where it should be. But this, if you do this to cars, no, don't do this. This is wrong. This is very wrong. It also handles like a drunk donkey, and because the back box fell off, because it rotted off, it sounds awful too. But I'll let you be the judge of that, because some people like it, other people hate it. Make your mind up. Here we go. Right folks, that's going to conclude today's video. Now, you will see the Civic again quite soon because there's plenty that needs fixing, and it deserves a lot more TLC than I give it. So my next set of videos on the Civic are going to be some cheap modifications, tidying it up a little bit, and just giving it the love it deserves, because it really does deserve a lot of love. Interestingly, I didn't quite put as much time into today's video as I normally do. I normally spend a lot of time scripting it out, planning the camera shots, setting things up. But I'm sick of not uploading videos because I think I'm a little bit too much of a perfectionist with them. So I'm hoping this video is still in line with the other ones in terms of quality, entertainment and such. I'm really keen to hear your thoughts. I always get far more feedback than I anticipate, and the support's great. So that comment section, use it. Was this video good? Better than the other ones? Worse than the other ones? What do you want to see next? Any improvements? I'm all ears. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Take care. I've also got dents and scrapes all the way along. What the fuck else have I got? AIDS? Sweet. Oh, I love farmers. If you don't like farmers, you're a knobhead. Oh, that was scraping. That was not nice. Good God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Driver's Den. Wow, it's actually sunny in England for once. Jeez. Move over, you big bloated EV. Thank you. My aircon was on. That's why I wasn't going fast. Silly me. Oh, a lay-by. Here we go. Mind the potholes. Fuck me. Why do I pay tax? Oh, shit. Ooh, crunch. Ow. Oh, fuck my life. My hands are fucking freezing. Ooh, you great big jammy bastard. Now, as you can hear, this car is powerful. It's got a whole 64 horsepower or something to his name. Wow, listen to it roar. Fucking shed. Oh shit, speed bump. Well, not speed bump, just a fucking leaf.